The king of the Cascades at over 14,000 feet of elevation.
Thousands attempt to summit its icy peak every year, but less than half succeed.
We will not be doing any of that today.
Nope.
Welcome to your 2-day guide of how we're gonna do Mount Rainier National Park.
Yeah, we will not be doing a deep dive on the national park. So if that's what you're looking for, you might need to find another channel.
Yeah, this is what it looks like when a couple of reasonably fit people try and take on a big old mountain like this.
Mount Rainier is the tallest mountain in Washington and all of the Cascade Mountain Range.
The 5th national park and our 13th national park.
I don't know about y'all, but this is the biggest dang mountain I've ever seen. It's huge.
They say people have been coming to visit Mount Rainier for 9,000 years.
This little guy has national parkitis, which means that people have fed him way too much and he's gotten fat and lazy.
We mentioned that this was strenuous.
I wish we could take all of our friends on this hike.
Black-tailed deer, up close and personal, little baby. Victoria, you're just like a mountain goat.
Mountain goat.
You're seeing what I'm seeing, right? A complete mirrored reflection. Right?
That is crazy.
Wow. This place. Bigfoot is a mountain.
Oh yeah, for sure. I heard Lady Bigfoots are in heat this season.
Yeah. So we don't want to be around when all that goes down, right? This one's gonna be hard to beat, y'all. Dude's about to have the best night of his life out on Snow Lake. Today's drive, not a bad one so far. We're on our way to Mount Rainier National Park, and we're actually on a 50-mile stretch through the, don't quote me on this, you know how I do the mispronunciation, Wenatchee National Forest. And this is the first time that we've come through the Cascade Mountains in the state of Washington. Now, we've obviously done it a couple of times in Oregon, and every time it's just absolutely incredible. I mean, it's a very beautiful drive right now. We're about 80 miles from our campground, Mount Haven, which I believe somewhere around 30 minutes outside of Mount Rainier National Park.
It's in Ashford.
Okay, if that gives you a better idea.
Just a little quick pull off of the highway to let some of the faster people through, and just thought I'd show y'all how freaking beautiful it is here in Washington. This is the White Pass Scenic Byway.
Okay, we just pulled over because we just caught our first glimpse of Mount Rainier. And also we
Real
needed to
glimpse.
Cars pass us. So.
Yeah, you know.
All right, here you go. You ready? Let's see it.
That is a big mountain.
RV parks right outside of national parks are always like the most majestic looking. Looks like we just stumbled upon another one. RVs parked here, no turnaround. Keep her coming. A little bit of passenger, sorry. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Yeah. Okay, after a long drive day, Victoria strikes again. She did good on this campground, Mount Haven Resort. I think there's only a few RV sites here, and we thought we were a little further away from Mount Rainier National Park entrance than we are. Turns out we're less than 2 miles from it. So, not a bad situation. Pretty good setup right here. We're in Ashford, I believe it is called, and Victoria's a big fan of the trees here, apparently.
Yeah, have you seen how big they are? Look at this. It's so big.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Loaded up. National Park number 13, Mount Rainier. And our first stop is where?
We're going to one of the more popular areas. It's called Paradise. I believe it's going to be located in like the southwest area of the park, but there are a bunch of trailheads around there.
We're going to be trying out one of the more challenging hikes today. America the Beautiful. Second time using the new pass.
Hello, how's it going?
Pretty good, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for that. Do you need a park map?
Yes, please.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
So the road is open all the way up to Paradise and Reflection Lakes. It's going to be closed just past that.
Okay, all information we already knew, but now we got our precious park map. Victoria with the excellent, scary driving up mountain edges skills.
Oh, I'm so tight.
Time it is. Stamp time.
Waiting for a resupply. Totally. Seems like a good adventure.
It's so cool. Yeah, I did this.
Ooh, I like that one.
These little markers on the ground are really cool because each one is a peak in the Cascade Mountain range. Three Sisters and Mount Rainier. There it is.
There it is.
There it is. Is that one us?
The varmints are really bad now. They come out, they hibernate.
Let's
So they try to
go.
put on.
Let us begin.
Let's hike.
You're one bold turkey.
All right, we haven't mentioned what we're doing. We're doing the Skyline Trail.
Getting up to Panorama Point.
However, right off the bat, you're hit with how much elevation, do you know?
Well, I know the total amount is 1,700 feet.
Oh, it feels like it's all right now.
Yeah, it's definitely on the front end, it feels like.
Oh gosh.
Dying a little bit inside right now.
This little guy has national parkitis, which means that people have fed him way too much and he's gotten fat and lazy.
Yeah, and he's all up in our business. We mentioned that this was strenuous. That's the thing though. Most of our favorite hikes that we've done are generally the hardest ones. So who knows, maybe this one will land in our top 5.
I also really enjoy our 0.25 mile hikes. I don't know what you're talking about, but they lead to some great waterfalls sometimes. Yeah.
Just like a mountain goat. Speaking of mountain goats, marmots, black bears, and big cats. Find a lot of that up in these parts. Okay, we needed a quick break, so let's talk real quick.
Yeah, it is unseasonably hot right now. It is the first week of October, and it's actually like the beginning of the time when things start shutting down, the end of like the summer season.
Yes, it's a little warm out today, but we would say make sure you're prepared. Bring like a long sleeve jacket,
Layers.
plenty of water, some sunscreen, things you can take on and off, you know. Do the right thing like a Boy Scout, be prepared.
So we entered through the Nisqually entrance, which is closest to Ashford. It's on the southwest part of the park.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it might be the only entrance that's open all year long. You might have to check me on that, but there are a lot of roads and trails that close during the winter, so just keep an eye out. I think we lucked out on timing in more ways than one. The end of summer season, so it's not as crowded, but also I think we came at the perfect time to see the fall foliage start to turn.
Yeah, right at the beginning of it. It's incredible. Jeez. By the way, did come prepared, got the bear spray, the bear bell, and the JBL speaker to make a little bit of noise if I get too tired and can't talk anymore.
That doesn't happen.
Bear preparedness. Unfortunately, haven't seen any wildlife besides that turkey and a chipmunk. There it is, Victoria. We're so close. $6,800 panorama point. We made it.
We made it.
The 360 view. Wow. Okay, now that we're at Panorama Point, it's snack time. And you know, we've done a lot of huffing and puffing and talking about how hard it was to get up there, but I will say, even though it's strenuous, we have seen old folks and small children doing this trail. So you probably can do it too.
Like we said, give yourself grace and time.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's a glacier.
I gotta say, that is definitely the closest I've ever been to a glacier.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Mount Rainier has the most glaciers, or if you want to say the most glaciated. It is the most glaciated peak in the continental United States. The largest of them is like 4 miles across.
That's a big glacier.
Yeah. It's crazy that it looks like almost all of these streams are actually just coming off of the glaciers where they're melting. In fact, you might have guessed that Mount Rainier may not have been its original name. It used to be called Tahoma or Tacoma, variations of the same word, which apparently means source of nourishment from the many streams coming from the slopes. That's a whole lot for one word, but very accurate.
They say people have been coming to visit Mount Rainier for 9,000 years. So we're cutting off the Skyline Trail and going on to the Golden Gate Trail. On a clear day, you're supposed to be able to see Mount St. Helens, Mount Adams, which is this one right here, if you can see it. It's kind of through those clouds. And Mount Hood on a really clear day, but it is wildfire season.
Yeah, goat
Something.
fire, goat smoke fire, something is not too far from here.
Yeah,
so.
the wilderness is definitely on fire. We saw it on the way up here, so not the clearest of days. Okay, we've officially hit our highest elevation and have started coming back down on this Golden Gate Trail. But the thing you should know is that Skyline Trail is your main trail. I don't know if we actually mentioned that, but there's a bunch of offshoots and smaller you know, little lookouts and things like that that you can do off of that trail. So no matter what, even if you get lost, think Skyline, its entirety is 5.5 miles.
I love this hike. Like, I wish we could take all of our friends on this hike.
Well, I mean, in a way, we kind of are by making this video, you know?
I guess you're right. I guess that's about as close as we're gonna get, huh?
You know, for right now, it's our own way of doing it. Okay, we're almost back down at Paradise. And to wrap up day one, I want to put this thing in our top 3 national parks and top 3 hikes. But I also feel like there's 7 national parks in our top 3 and at least 5 hikes in our top 5. So I don't really know. It's an ever evolving thing. And we've got another full day of exploration here. So I'm sure it's just going to get better. Black-tailed deer, up close and personal, little baby. Okay, got to add one more to the wildlife list, the black-tailed deer. Not your traditional national park sign at the Nisqually entrance.
No, I don't think that they have like an official sign like you see at a lot of the other parks. I'm pretty sure it's this, or there's one at the actual entrances to the different areas like Paradise.
I like it, it's unique. Day 2 at Mount Rainier.
Yeah, we thought we'd start you off somewhere pretty. So we're here at Reflection Lakes, which are obviously named that because you can often see the reflection of Mount Rainier in them.
Yesterday we did a pretty long hike, just at 5 miles, I think is what we ended up hiking. Today's gonna be a series of smaller events, smaller hikes, viewpoints, but you know, no matter where we go, it promises to be beautiful.
Of course. Look, you could see the reflection. I just wish there was a little less wind and then it would just be flat and you could 100% see it.
Yeah, it's also a little hazy today. See the sun right here? that's activity number 1 for the day.
Yeah, we're taking a trail down to both Snow and Bench Lake, which I believe are both part of the Reflection Lakes as well.
The trail is 2.5 miles in and out with 700 feet elevation gain. And just from what we've seen about the lake so far, it's gonna be pretty. So come on. Bench Lake first. Victoria, you're just like a mountain goat.
Mountain goat.
Nailed it. You're seeing what I'm seeing, right? A complete mirrored reflection. Right?
That is crazy.
Wow. This place. All right, mountain goat, can you conquer this stream? How about you step on the rocks instead of the log? It's a little safer. A little less movement. Oh no, you nailed it. Yeah. I've said it once, I'll say it again. If you hike, you know stairs are the devil. Well, getting up to Snow Lake, the last bit of elevation is all stairs, it feels like.
It better be cool.
This is so cool.
It's pretty.
Wow. Okay. This one's gonna be hard to beat, y'all. We've reached our final destination for this hike, Snow Lake, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, and it's actually a location where you can hike in and tent camp, and at like a little over 1.5 miles in.
Can you imagine if we
bad.
lived in this area to just come tent camp here for a weekend?
Yes,
That would
absolutely.
be amazing. That'll technically conclude the lake portion of the day, but 100% worth this hike.
We actually just passed a dude on his way in with the full set of camping gear, so we're assuming that he's actually going to take advantage of that little campsite and stay the night.
Yeah, dude's about to have the best night of his life out on Snow Lake. Okay, we got you the lake views. Now it's time for the waterfall views. This is Narada Falls Trail, easy one. Well, kinda, it's a 200-foot descent, but it is only 0.4 miles round trip. So quick, but maybe a little difficult, we'll see.
It might not be the tallest one that we've seen, but it's definitely very pretty.
That's cool. This one is an easy stop off. This is Christine Falls. I'm not sure how big it is, but I don't know how many times I can say beautiful.
3.2 total. You think we got it in us?
If it's the last one, we're gonna persevere.
All right.
It's low, but it still looks mean.
It still looks mean for sure.
This is our last stop. We're actually sitting here in the Nisqually riverbed, and I just want you to imagine real quick how much water is in this thing after the snow melts in the spring. This whole riverbed would be full.
We did have one more hike planned. However, alas, darkness came upon us earlier than we expected, which happens whenever you're in the valley.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll take the L on this one because we got about 0.4 miles down the Carter Falls Trail. But then I remembered it's the time of year and time of day that Bigfoot is about.
Oh yeah, for sure. I heard Lady Bigfoots are in heat this season.
Yeah. So we don't want to be around when all that goes down, right? So we're gonna call it a day. A couple of things we should mention before we get out of here. Bigfoot, not the only supernatural thing going on around here.
No, this was actually the location of the first UFO sighting in the United States.
#1. And by the way, 100% a believer over here.
In case you haven't realized it by now, Mount Rainier is a volcano, and it's actually an active one at that.
Last erupted in 1894.
And it's kind of creepy because they say it might be overdue to erupt again. It's actually considered the 3rd most dangerous volcano in the world.
That won't be a good time. There are some things that we didn't get to see due to the time of year that we're here and some of the road closures.
There's the Grove of the Patriarchs, which is in the southeast corner, where you have some of the oldest trees in the park.
Then there's Sunrise Point, which is the highest point that you can actually drive in the park.
And one last thing, if you're here during the right time of year, you can actually ski. They have a restaurant and lodge and everything.
Yeah, they got you. Right now, this park is #1 of the 13 that we've done, in my opinion. Just above Zion.
I mean, I have to agree, and I'd say 13 is a pretty good sample size.
Yeah, so we do have a playlist that we'll let you check out right here, all 13 parks that we've done, and we'll let you decide which one you think is the best.
Thanks for hanging out with us for our 2-day Mount Rainier National Park guide.
Yeah, of course, we tried to get you the best information we could. Our motto, don't do what we do, learn from what we do, and if there's something that we missed, please let us know in the comments below. And of course, you know we'll be catching you next Sunday, and if you haven't hit that subscribe button, bye out.